Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Romans 1:22. True transformation begins in your mind when you seek change only in outward actions. It may seem like something is missing, but Christ calls you to a transformation from the inside out, a renewal that starts in the heart and spreads to every area of your life. He invites you to set aside thoughts of doubt, fear, and insecurity and to replace those voices with the truth He declares about you. You are loved, chosen, strengthened, and created with a special purpose. Imagine living with a mind completely aligned with the will of God, anxiety being replaced by peace, fear giving way to confidence, and insecurities transformed by the certainty that you are fully accepted and loved. This is what the renewal of the mind brings to your life, a new way of seeing everything around you, guided by hope, not doubt, by faith and not by circumstances. When you allow God to renew your mind, you begin to experience what is good, acceptable, and perfect with a renewed mind. Your challenges become opportunities for growth. Your pains are softened by divine comfort, and your purpose reveals itself with greater clarity. Let God transform your way of thinking, and prepare to live a life overflowing with peace, joy, and fulfillment. If this content resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone special who needs to hear this message. And in the comments, share your prayer requests. Together, we will pray for the good, acceptable, and perfect will of God to manifest in each of our lives. And seek God's presence in every aspect of your life. 1. Love God above all. Loving God above all things teaches us to order all other loves, placing Him at the center of our lives and allowing Him to direct our affections. In the book The Four Loves, it is described how love for God gives meaning and order to all other relationships. When God occupies the supreme place in our hearts, our love for people and things aligns correctly, becoming truer and purer. This love purifies and organizes our affections, preventing people or possessions from occupying the space meant for Him, which leads us away from true happiness. Recognizing our divine need is understanding that He is the source of everything we need. In mere Christianity, a God-shaped hole in the human heart is mentioned, something that only He can fill. This love is the awareness that nothing but God fully satisfies the soul. Attempting to fill this void with possessions, or relationships results in frustration, for only He is sufficient for the human heart. This love also implies renunciation and complete surrender, requiring us to die to self and let go of pride. This liberating experience leads us to relinquish our own desires, allowing God to be the Lord of our lives. Loving God means being drawn to what is true and eternal, for this love is deeper than any earthly affection, reflecting the only immutable good. 2. Trust in divine providence. Trusting in divine providence is a call to surrender and rest in God, recognizing that His plan is greater than any control we might desire. Often we cling to control, believing that our limited vision is sufficient for making decisions. However, truly trusting God means relinquishing that desire for control. In trusting our plans and worries to Him by allowing Him to take the reins, we find a freedom and peace that only He can offer. Suffering should be seen as part of God's purpose, not as a sign of abandonment in the problem. Of pain, it is highlighted that God can use even the most difficult moments to shape our lives according to His purpose. Learning to see difficulties as opportunities for growth strengthens our faith and makes us more like Christ. This trust allows us to face trials with hope, certain that He is present every step of the way. Patience is a profound expression of trust in God. Waiting on divine providence requires serenity, believing that He works in His time, which is always perfect, even without seeing His actions. We know He orchestrates everything for our good. This active waiting allows us to live the present with gratitude, confident that each step of our lives is in His hands. Moreover, divine providence reveals itself not only in the big moments, but in the small details of daily life. By recognizing God's presence in daily blessings and challenges, we understand that He cares for us in every aspect of life. Thus, trusting in divine providence is living with a heart anchored in God, accepting suffering as part of the purpose, and recognizing His care in every detail. 3. Always forgive and release bitterness. To always forgive is an invitation to experience genuine freedom. Letting go of the weight of bitterness and resentments that corrode our inner peace, the call to forgiveness is not merely about overlooking wrongs, but about a deep healing for the soul. In Matthew 6:14 and 15, it is reminded that by forgiving we open ourselves to receive divine forgiveness. This teaching is above all a personal liberation. Forgiveness is not easy. It involves letting go of anger, pride, and self-righteousness that tries to justify resentment. However, it is the key that frees the mind from negative thoughts, allowing us to walk more lightly. By choosing to forgive, we renew our minds, allowing divine love and grace to fill the space once occupied by bitterness. The choice to forgive reveals the transformative power of that decision. Putting forgiveness into practice is choosing peace and allowing God to take control, even while not ignoring others' wrongs. It is a conscious decision to free the heart from the weight of the past. By forgiving, we renew the mind, heal the soul, and are liberated to live fully without carrying the burdens that have been left behind. 4. Develop humility and meekness. Understanding humility and meekness is recognizing a freedom that allows us to live authentically and in peace. Humility is accepting our true place in the universe. We are creatures loved by God, limited, and dependent on Him. This perspective frees us from the burden of proving ourselves all the time, as we do not need to elevate ourselves above others to find worth in humility. Deplorable perfection of health, body, mind, and soul of each person, and open ourselves to learn from others, abandoning the need for prominence. This humility is the soil where wisdom is planted. By relinquishing pride, the mind becomes more capable of growing in truth. When we set ego aside, we see the beauty of the world around us and connect more deeply with people with an open heart. We can learn and be transformed, for humility is the path to spiritual growth. Meekness is a refuge of inner peace that comes from self-control and serenity sustained by trust in God. To be meek is a profound strength, not dependent on external circumstances. Choosing meekness is deciding that anger or pride will not dominate it, is trusting that God is the just judge who knows our hearts. This inner strength allows us to live with unshakable peace. 5. Love and care for others. With compassion and understanding, love for others is recognizing that true love translates into concrete actions. Loving others does not mean merely feeling affection, but practicing acts of kindness and mercy. Even when we don't feel like it, genuine love is a decision, a commitment to do good for others, regardless of the circumstances. This choice requires us to abandon selfishness and see the beauty and value of each person through God's eyes. Love for others directly reflects love for God. By recognizing each person as created in His image, we are led to treat them with dignity and respect, seeking to act as Christ would. This understanding transforms how we see those around us, promoting a dignified and respectful treatment. Moreover, loving others is an antidote to selfishness. By choosing to love and serve, we gradually overcome our selfishness, making room for a more altruistic and generous heart. This transformation brings us closer to a humble and grace-filled spirit, renewing our minds and strengthening our character. 6. Live in the present moment. With gratitude. Understanding gratitude and the present is recognizing the importance of living anchored in the now and nurturing a heart that sees God's goodness in every detail. The present is the only time in which we are truly in touch with reality and with God. By focusing the mind on the now, we let go of anxieties about the future and regrets about the past, allowing divine peace to fill our being. Gratitude begins with appreciating small blessings and daily joys, seeing them as divine gifts. Valuing these moments reveals the true meaning of life and the goodness that surrounds us. This act renews the mind, reducing space for complaints and dissatisfaction, replacing them with a sincere acknowledgement of divine gifts. Furthermore, gratitude is a pathway to peace and joy that transcends external circumstances. It is not just an emotional response, but a spiritual choice that promotes a lighter life. When we choose to be grateful, we open our hearts to genuine joy, recognizing that everything we receive is a result of divine goodness. Thus, gratitude becomes a channel for experiencing constant peace, anchored in trust in divine care. Separate envy and gratitude. Cultivate contentment, understanding. Contentment is recognizing that true joy arises from a mind free from envy and focused on what is eternal. Envy is a major obstacle to joy. By allowing it to dominate the mind, we end up comparing our lives with others and losing sight of the blessings we have already received. This feeling is a dangerous distraction as it diverts our focus from God to material and superficial things. Contentment begins with recognizing divine providence, accepting what we have as sufficient for our journey, practicing humility, and gratitude transforms the heart, allowing us to value what we already possess. This change in perspective reveals that what we have, coming from God's hands, is enough. Living with a heart turned towards what is eternal is essential for finding true contentment by focusing on virtues, relationships, and faith in God. We find satisfaction that does not depend on transient circumstances. Seeking contentment in the things of God brings deep peace and lasting joy. 8. Be light and salt in people's lives. Being light and salt is a call to reflect the character of Christ authentically, without pretending to be perfect. Being light is not just about acting impeccably, but about being genuine, showing weaknesses while striving to live in truth. Our lives should reflect the character of Christ, demonstrating that faith is not just words but a commitment to real actions of love. Forgiveness and integrity. Being salt means bringing flavor to the world, living as an example of divine love. By acting with empathy and kindness, we demonstrate a hope that transcends circumstances. This mission leads us to direct our lives towards something greater than ourselves, the unconditional love of God that transforms everything around Him. Moreover, being light also inspires others to desire to know the truth. By living authentically, reflecting Christ's teachings, we can awaken the desire to seek that truth. A life faithful to Christian values serves as an invitation for others to recognize the value of following Christ. Finally, living as light and salt has the power to transform the environment around us. By choosing to live according to divine values, we bring peace and goodness to challenging situations, shaping a more loving community. Being light and salt is a commitment to the transformation that starts within us and spreads, creating space for God's presence in every interaction. The Word are essential. Pathways to a deep relationship with God. Prayer is a genuine encounter, a dialogue in which we open ourselves completely, allowing God to shape us from the inside out. This moment goes beyond requests. It is an opportunity to express gratitude, confess weaknesses, and seek direction. Aligning our thoughts with His. The Word is a living source of wisdom, a reliable guide for life. Studying the Scriptures challenges and renews us, providing strength to face challenges. By immersing ourselves in the Word, we expand our vision and are empowered to see situations from a divine perspective in moments of struggle and doubt. Prayer and the Word are essential tools to strengthen faith. By drawing closer to God through prayer and Bible reading, we find comfort and courage to face life's storms, reminding ourselves of divine faithfulness. The greatest benefit of prayer and studying the Word is the intimacy we develop with God. In every situation, these teachings of Christ are the path to a renewed mind and a life of purpose and peace. Each of them is an opportunity for transformation, an invitation to leave behind what binds us and open ourselves to what God has best for us. When we commit to these principles, we live a practical faith that impacts our way of thinking, acting, and seeing the world. How about taking the next step and starting to put these teachings into practice? Share this content with someone who might benefit from these truths, and let us know in the comments how we can pray for you together. Let's build a full life based on the peace and purpose that Christ offers us. Now, let us unite in prayer, allowing these principles to truly transform our hearts and minds. Lord, teach me to love you above all else, to put you first in my life. May my heart, mind, and soul be wholly yours, that I may seek your presence in every decision, and that nothing and no one occupies the space that belongs to you. Help me find my worth and purpose in you, and to love you with all my being, so that this love flows into everything I do. Father, may this deep and true love for you be the foundation of my life. May I seek you with integrity, in prayer and in your word, allowing this love to transform and shape me according to your will. May I honor your name in every step and live with a high heart, focused on eternity, reflecting your glory in every action. God, I thank you because you are the God who provides, who sustains me, and cares for every detail of my life. Help me trust in your providence, especially when I face moments of uncertainty and challenges. May my faith in you be greater than my worries and fears, and may I learn to rest in your arms, knowing that all things are under your control. Lord, give me the confidence to wait patiently and serenely, believing that your timing is perfect, even when I don't understand what's happening. Help me remember that you are always with me, guiding my steps and caring for each of my needs. May my trust in you be renewed every day, and may I live with the peace and assurance that I am never alone. Loving Father, help me to release hurts and to forgive as you forgive me. I know that forgiveness is a path to freedom and peace, but sometimes my heart resists. Give me the strength to forgive those who have hurt me, and to trust that you are healing every wound and every pain. May I see people with your eyes, full of compassion and grace. Lord, may your Holy Spirit renew my mind and remove any bitterness or resentment. Help me to live free from the burdens of the past, making room for your peace in my heart. Teach me to love even when it is difficult, and to reflect your forgiveness in every relationship. May my life be a testimony of your love and mercy. God, I ask you to mold my heart in humility and meekness. Help me to recognize that everything I have and everything I am comes from you, and that without you I can do nothing.